All right, welcome to our first deep dive product video of 2021. With each new major release, we'll be taking you, the audience, through a deep dive of key features, which we think are essential to know about and will dramatically increase the ease of use of Neoda's platform. Now, the most recent release was 10.5, and with it came something the product team has been working on for a little while now, and something I believe will change the name of the game when it comes to no-code development. Today, I'm joined by Dom Simpson, our Director of Consulting and Solutions, and the actual product lead for this particular feature release. Now, as with all deep dive videos going forward, we'll also demo the actual features for you in this video. First, a little background. No-code platforms, like with most platform solutions, have what I refer to as the blank canvas dilemma. The catch-22 that while everyone wants the tools to be creators, no one really wants to start from ground zero, no matter how good or easy the actual technology is to use. Now, Microsoft addresses this particular problem with PowerPoint templates, which they define as a pattern or a blueprint of a slide. Templates can contain certain layouts, theme colors, fonts, effect styles, and even content. The building industry has also something quite similar, the modular construction method, a form of prefabricated construction methodology that sources pre-built components, which are made off-site, which are then transported to the construction site to be assembled. In essence, it's a lean technique applied to the construction industry. Now, to solve this problem and to enhance the Neoda's overall usability, all no-code platforms should take a leaf out of the construction industry. And here at Neoda, we've done the same. We've introduced our products and building blocks concept to the platform's tool suite. There's three key concepts to this particular feature release, which you can see on screen. Products, which are fully built, runnable digital solutions, which are made available to Neoda Logic customers. Although pre-configured by the Neoda Logic team, each product detail, the logic, the functionality, the content, can be configured by customers to suit their own needs. Product templates are skeleton versions of products, which customers can access to customize or further develop through the Neoda Logic platform. Product templates do not have content built in. Rather, it comes with step-by-step instructions for the customer to leverage already built-out functions of the product, while also allowing customization of their own content. Building blocks are fully built, meaningful functionality-specific solutions, which through no-code plug and play can be connected to product or product templates. Building blocks include functionalities like third-party integrations into DocuSign and Box, negotiation capabilities, and approval workflows. So the why and the how, products and product templates can be leveraged in really four different ways. As is, which is customers to utilize it themselves, already built as runnable digital solutions. To customize, so as I mentioned before, to swap out our demo content with your own content. To self-develop, so develop the templates into larger digital solutions, either by building on top of it using our platform tools or using our newly designed and released building blocks, or having our team, the Neoda Logic professional service team, develop out the templates for you. Now, I've mentioned modular building blocks a bit previously, and it's probably one of the most exciting things we've done recently to the platform. And I think you, as the viewer, would probably agree with me once you see it in action. The reality is that Neoda users don't really have to now spend time building out advanced and, more importantly, repetitive functions every single time. And I believe it's a pretty big game changer to how our customers will be using the Neoda Logic platform. So probably enough from me. Dom, do you want to talk through and demo how all these things come together? And
All right, thanks, Jackson. I'll just get my screen up. Okay, so as you mentioned, building blocks are kind of one of the core new functionalities that we're introducing. And I'm going to start off by showing one of the one that I'm most excited about. And I'm most excited about it because of the time saving. So if anyone's ever sort of built a from scratch DocuSign integration before, it can get a little tricky in working out documentation of the other software platform and trying to work out how the pieces sort of fit together. And what we've really tried to do here is take all of the onus from you of trying to work out integrations and the complexities of essentially coding and really tie into our no-code platform by creating these building blocks that enable you to set up integrations with other platforms by just a few clicks. So I'll show off the DocuSign building block to start so you can see what that looks like. So it's just this card here, which represents a really small workflow. So we've got workflows on our platform and we've leveraged this to be able to build these building blocks. So this is the DocuSign building block that we've got here. And it is very small. It's very simple because it's just representing the single signatory workflow. So we've got one user coming in, they come in and they're sent to DocuSign, and then they come back from DocuSign. And what we've got built in here is just a little bit of error handling. That means if something goes wrong in that integration, hopefully not, but we always want to make sure that we're covering off every possibility. If something does go wrong, we're handling that and actually enabling the user to essentially try again. And we can also build in a bit more error handling on that front as well if we want. So this is just for one signer to be able to sign in DocuSign. And the idea is that you can use these pieces, these little blocks here, and reuse them. So if we had two signatories, you would just have the same thing all over again in another lane or another workflow just sitting below. So you would just reuse these blocks and just add in further applications that represent sending the user to DocuSign and then returning the user from DocuSign. And these are what we provide you. So you get this block and then you can add it into your workflow, or you can actually build your workflow around it. So if you wanted to build your workflow around it, you could add in, for example, before this start node, you could have an application where a user uploads a document to be signed, or maybe it's a document that you've automated with the Neotologic toolbar, or it could be a document that you're retrieving from another system. You add in that application piece here, and then you basically tell this block which document you want to be signed. You identify the signatories, and then we know to send that off to DocuSign. So this is the piece that you get to start with without this lane that I've just added. And I'll show you what it looks like if you add it into a workflow. So you could build your workflow around it starting off here, or you could actually add it into an existing workflow. So what we've got here, this is an MSA, so Master Services Agreement, where it's a very simple demo solution that automates a document. So we've got that document starting here, the Master Services Agreement. All this application does is it automates a document that has been marked up using the Neotologic toolbar. So after that document gets sent off to the user, sent off to the counterparty comes in and they sign that document. Then it gets sent back to the original initiator to sign the document as well. So what you can see here is, although this bit is bespoke, so I've created this Master Services Agreement document, an application that automates it, this bit is the reusable component. So we've dropped in this modular building block here and then again here. And that's where we can just reuse the same building blocks over and over again, up to 6 signatories at the moment. If you do want more, just let us know. And basically what you need to do is identify a few different pieces of information that DocuSign needs. So for example, who's going to sign? So we need to know the email and the name of the user, at what point they're going to sign. So this one's the first signatory, this one's the second signatory. And also we need to connect into your DocuSign account. So within this application, and there are instructions on how to do this, you'll need to set up a link to your DocuSign account to make sure that we're using the right account. So with that set up, I might just give it a run to show what it looks like. So we give this workflow a run. And this is the demo MSA. So it's very simple, just ask the user a couple of questions. I've pre-populated it just so that you don't have to watch me enter in responses. And it's just populating some core details about the MSA. So if we just go through this, a few other options that change the clauses that are available in the MSA, and then it generates the document. So at this point, what we've got in our workflow is it sends off an email. And from that email, which we've created in the workflow editor, we've written up some information about the DocuSign integration, but we've also given them a link to continue the workflow. So if we go over to my email and give that a refresh, we've got this email coming in from the workflow. And this is the counterparty who gets this email, and they get a link enabling them to sign. Now, this is basically one of the most sort of simple setups that you could have, which is just automate a document and then have the user sign it immediately in DocuSign. But you could certainly make this much more complex. You could have negotiation built in. You could have the user preview the document and confirm their details, that sort of thing, before you're coming into DocuSign. Or this is the kind of very streamlined version where they just go straight into DocuSign and it enables the counterparty to sign. So that's the document here. You hit start and it brings you right down to the spot where you add your signature in. So finish that there. And then what happens is, I won't show it because it's the same process, but you finish it off in DocuSign and then it goes back to the initiator, and they have the same interface where they are taken to DocuSign and then taken back. And traditionally that integration would take quite some time to put together because we would be building it bespoke. But now with these building blocks, all you need to do is add into your workflow, do a little bit of configuration, and then you've got the integration up and running. So that's the DocuSign building block. One of the other ones that I'll just mention is the box building block. So again, I've just set up a very basic workflow, even more basic, that I'll show you, which is using that same MSA application. I've got a user who generates the MSA, so they automate the MSA using the platform, and then it uploads it to Box. So this one is not a great demo to show because it actually all happens in the background. So from the user's perspective, they generate the MSA and they can see the MSA has been created. You can give it to them to download, but what happens in the background, and that's what this little cog represents, there's no user interface. It's something that happens without the user seeing it, but the document gets uploaded automatically to Box. And again, just like with DocuSign, there's no need for you to worry about the kind of complexities of the integration and the, any sort of writing code that goes behind it. We've done that bit of work. And then all you need to do is basically tell us which document you want to file and where do you want it to file it to. So, what are your Box account details so we can hook into that setup. So that's essentially just some of the building blocks and the functionality. They are accessible, if I've got this open, I think somewhere here. No, I do not, in our library tab. All right, so this is our library where you can access the building blocks that we've just shown in the section called building blocks, and also where we'll be adding far more building blocks to come in future. So let us know if there's any building blocks that you're particularly interested in. One set we're certainly looking at doing is more document storage. So we've got Box, but obviously there are a lot of different software companies that provide document storage. So we'll be looking into increasing the amount of options that we've got there.
Thanks, Tom. That was great. If anyone's interested in seeing more of building blocks, please feel free to contact anyone at Neotologic. Thank you.